Okay, we're going to move on now, Grant, and I'm going to start asking you a bit more technical stuff and talking a bit more about what you actually do and how we can tap into some of your knowledge and share that with our audience. What I want to ask you is, what's your opinion on what do you think the future is with construction, and how do you think that's going to change over the next few years? What's the marketplace like at the moment?
That's really difficult. There's the big thing looming on the horizon, Brexit. How's it going to affect us? How's it going to affect, from really simple terms, the money in people's pockets, through to businesses, through to service providers, through to the whole strata of society. There's a belief that over 50% of the spend in the UK is directly related to the construction industry. By the time the money filters down through all the other stuff, and because we even think about it, sort of the manufacturing behind it, the haulage behind it, the services that go around
That's
it.
That's really interesting.
Even if you think things like HR and payroll and accountants that are all working for construction. I remember hearing it years ago that there's about 50% of the UK's economy is all around construction. How is Brexit going to affect it? If I had a crystal ball, everybody says.
Like you say, everyone's talking about this, and this was something we chatted about in some of our previous expert interviews on a financial sense and a tax sense, and it really is like asking, to look into the future.
It'll be like everything else. There will be opportunities for some people, and there will be pain for other people. And it'll probably be the same if we didn't Brexit. There'll be opportunities for some people. It's how we adapt our businesses to accommodate it. The construction sector does need a bit of a shake-up. The biggest challenge that we have, and this is a bit of a standing joke, you hear the politicians say on one side, we are going to build X amount of tens of thousands of houses for talk's sake in the next X amount of years. And then you have us at the sort of the rock face, and the planning departments, they have a bit of a poison chalice, because they were downsized in the recession. They've never really been upsized. They don't have the resources, and this is me being kind, but you could just say they're really lazy and they don't do any work, but let's be kind about it. They have a lot of work to do and they can't get everything done. The average planning application takes probably between 12 and 13 weeks from us submitting it to us getting it back. And more often than not, we've one that took 9 months.
Wow. And
it was just, it ended up ringing the planning officer. Well, I rang them quite a few times, and she got quite angry. She says, I have lots of work to do. Yours is not the only one on my desk. And I was thinking, yeah, but here's the thing. Your actual knock-on effect of you being busy means that the builder's not starting on site. It means that he's not getting paid. It means that I'm not getting paid. It means that the manufacturing company's not getting the orders placed. The actual whole network below your yes or no decision
domino effect
is absolutely massive. So
and I don't think they realise the implications, as you say, that's having on the wider network, and not just you and your project, but the general ability to be able to build houses and to meet demand for housing.
And it continues on through. The builder takes the money home, spends it in the shops. And the money continues, and it gets recycled down and down and down. So that lack of movement of money because of just a delay in the process actually has a full effect the whole way through the economy. So the big one for me is the planning system, not necessarily getting better. I'm not saying getting better, just getting quicker at doing what, hitting the 8-9 weeks, not the 15, 16, 17 weeks.
I know one of the most challenging aspects of what I do when I'm working in a social marketplace is bridging the gap between the public and the private sectors, because they are poles apart in the ways that they work, and we're so efficient when we do things in the private sector, and if we did a planning application, we want it done in the day and turn it around. We wouldn't see why that could happen. But in the public sector, they work so differently, and I think, as I say, that's one of the biggest challenges we encounter across any business is trying to work well together. I think social enterprise will be a good bridge of the gap, but we're yet to see how social enterprise fits into housing and house building, and we're dabbling with that at the moment, and it's going to be interesting to see how that moves on over the next few years, I think.
The other big thing is there is a certain amount of institutionalization, if there's a new word, if that is a word, of it's their culture. I'm sure every builder will tell you stories of not being able to get a planning officer on the phone before 10 o'clock in the morning, or been able to get.
Well, I used to work for the council, so I'm not going to say anything at this point. But yeah, I can empathise with issues like that. We, same thing. Don't bother ringing on a Friday afternoon. It's flexi time.
If it was the private sector, it'd be killed. If you were performance based on if you don't get paid until you do this, you certainly get it done a lot quicker. And that's how we work in the private sector. You get paid based on performance, whereas it's just a bit of a nonsense in my mind sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.